All right, it's hard for me to tell how many of you guys care about the build process videos. It seems like some people do. Most people would rather just see the end product. But I've had more and more people ask me about 3D files and if they can have them. And I've told them before, the way I make these different blasters, I don't actually use modeling software and create like an STL that I can just send you. I basically cut, build, resize, manipulate different free files I find to create ones that work with the design I want. And so here we have kind of a modified Bullpup design I'm going to do here on this. This was an Emerbu HK416, so they used to sell this. It's got the metal gears in it, a Gen 8 gearbox, upgraded spring, all that stuff. So what I did was there is a free file on Thingiverse for an M4 Bullpup Gen 8, specifically Gel Blaster, which is extremely rare, that you can get. But it's supposed to then, put a grip out here with a trigger, but then it left this trigger exposed, which I didn't really think was that cool. So what I did was I took that stock piece, this piece right here was directly from there. It did not fit the specs of this perfect. So I had to create another circle piece that went in there. And then the motor cover on that didn't have any sort of grip design on it. So basically I found a grip, sliced the sides off of it, basically stacked them onto this motor cover so that it actually looks like a grip, because in the case of what I'm building, it's going to function that way. All right, this was a different handguard. I basically chopped the rails off, resized it, and then actually reused that plastic tip piece that's on the HK416 CQB handguards. I had to basically cut pieces off of it, file it down, and then that way I could go ahead and have it mounted on there so that you still get those nice, factory plastic threads that are definitely stronger than 3D printed ones. I've got a rail here. Then again, you see a lot of filler. I use a lot of this plastic wood filler when you need to. Okay, I use plastic welder a lot. That melts, that gets super hot. That lets you melt things, kind of meld them together, but then typically you got to do some sanding, and it definitely takes a soft touch to be able to get good at that. And then a 3D pen, because that's basically going to take filament and let you fill in spaces. So those are all different things I do, because no matter what, the prints are never 100% perfect. I might need to manipulate things, all of that. So anyway, I had to print this little riser piece. Again, this will all get sanded and cleaned up and painted, because then this will go lock in like that. And then you can see I use heat inserts quite often so that you can screw them down, especially because in this case, you wouldn't be able to put this on until you put the handguard on, because otherwise you'd run into that and clip that off. For bottom grip here, basically this is going to go on there, and you can see I've already got the heat inserts. Again, this still needs a lot of sanding and getting cleaned up. Can have that grip there. And then I also went ahead and decided to print a little magwell grip too. Okay, and again, I modified this. It didn't fit perfect, and that I'm going to actually use like some double-sided sticky tape to really hold that on there, but like some really good double-sided sticky tape, not like cheap stuff. All right, so then you have this grip here. Then you've got the magwell grip there, some little side rails, right? And then this is actually the back of the stock. And this is similar to how the person designed it had it, but what I'm going to do is basically put a bolt through this that's going to go through here, and on the other side there'll be washers. That way it can swing like this, right? And then I'll have to put some sort of catch somewhere that we screw in that holds that shut. So that's the plan with this. You can see in there room for, well, now you can actually see the motor and everything. That's just got electrical tape on it to keep the wires to the back, because in order for it to fit, that worked out best. So battery will go right there, and then you'll have this on here that can kind of rotate down, and then I'll have something to lock it in down there, probably a heat insert and some sort of screw with a nice handle on it. Otherwise, I do have a riser, canted riser that I'm printed that'll kind of go on, somewhere around here. So I'll still have sights, canted riser, side rails, the grips and everything, and probably a few other kind of more decorative type touches. All right, so that's a quick rundown. My HK416/M4 modified Bullpup is what I'm calling it. Comments, questions, let me know what you think. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in those monthly giveaways.